Tell me you're not just craving this. Sin, crooked man, tried to walk a crooked man. We are here, the Goat Brothers. We have a Goat Brother AWOL we need to mention and throw out a howdy doody to the bird, because man, he is employed up to his eyeballs. Now what we wanted to do was cook up some delicious burros. Not just any burros. I learned how to do this on TV, so I know that it works. So let's see here. We need a couple of rocks. They got to be just right, I saw. This looks good. And this looks good. Okay, ready? Stand back. I don't get it. How does he do that? Well, tell you that right now. You want a fire out there. Now, there's the Goat Brothers method. There you go. Now, isn't that a lot better than a couple of rocks? That's Stone Age, man. Nice, huh? Well, when you're outdoor cooking, you remember in the old West days when they have the cattle drive or whatever it was, they have the chuck wagon. And we have one too. Here's the chuck wagon with everything in it we need, all nicely organized in Goat Brothers methodology. We have some knives, tater peelers. This is a useful item if while you're working on cutting things or maybe chopping a little bit of wood. It actually is a Special Forces tomahawk. So it's of dubious background. Then you got to have cast iron. So let's relax for a little bit, shall we, while the fire burns down. And then we're going to start in prepping. What do you remember about the hairless goat?
Father would sit at that piano and chord that song out, and I always enjoyed it.
It made you laugh. And so, you know what? Let's go for it, shall we?
Hang on, this ought to be good. Cecil's going to sing us a song.
I'll try and do some kind of rendition that would make him proud. The hairless goat was feeling fine. Ate 3 red shirts right off the line. Bill grabbed a stick, gave him a whack, and tied him to the railroad track. The whistle blew, woo, the train reunited. That hairless goat was doomed to die. He gave a groan of awful pain, coughed up those shirts and flagged the train.
Bravo!
Bravo!
That was most excellent.
That was fun, but it's time to do some cooking.
Actually, after hearing him sing, I don't know why his nickname isn't Toad. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to try and get closer. Down in the orchard is an entire, I don't know what they call them, flock, family, group of quadrimundis. We're going to see if we can get close enough to get them on camera. Here we go. There were about 20 plus coatimundis there. They ran out this way, and I can see them going up the side of the mountain over here now.
Start by chopping some onion, cilantro, and of course the Goat Brothers magic jalapeno. At the Goat Bros, we're all cleanliness buffs, as you just figured out. So there, look at that. Onions and jalapenos go in here first, and then we're going to do potatoes. You know what? Outdoor cooking is perfect for the lazy man who doesn't like to clean things up, because it's all biodegradable. And the javelinas and coatimundis Love it. So we're chopping these onions into little squares, and then because they're going to go in here and get chopped up, we need to chop these. Get out the Cuisinart. Watch your fingers, by the way. Okay, we got that. Now, you keep an eye on that fire over there, Frog.
If you're cooking and you want the best flavor in your food, go with mesquite if it's available.
So you guys that are watching in Alaska and, well, say Maine, you might have to walk a long ways around camp to see if you can find a mesquite tree, but it's worth it. What do we cook with in Alaska? It's mostly just, you know, like hemlock and other soft woods that have something of a turpentine taste after your steak and or salmon is cooked on it. If you have say a couple of grayleans or something, and you wrap them up in tin foil, and with a piece of bacon, an onion, jalapeno if you have it, and let that cook for about 12 minutes per side, and voila, you have a meal. We've had some really delicious meals up there. Brother Pablo, R.I.P., he cooked up a caribou roast that was so delicious. Oh my goodness. And we had shot the caribou the day before or something, and carried the meat back into camp, carefully watching behind all the time. But he took a big old hind leg roast, with onions and potatoes and carrots. Getting some drool out of me there. And then he wound up some gravy made out of caribou. Woo! Time to clean up a little bit, you know. Get these chopped up and...
Let me help, brother. You know, I reckon that would take your finger right off, bone and all.
You got that right. When our father spoke of something like this that had a lot of components and it was good to eat, he would say that we gobbled it up, guts, feathers, and all. I've never heard that anywhere but our father. And we want to chop these potatoes about 3/8 of an inch square. And if you don't know what 3/8 is, then you need to hire a contractor to cook for you. Somebody needs, instead of Pam, needs to make something that says fat and it's bacon grease. Psst. I want to season this a little bit. Okay. There. Wouldn't that be great? Bacon grease. You don't want to mix up which handle is branding hot and which one is stone cold. Is that hot?
That's hot.
Let's just sit it right here then. Okay, look at that. That grill is just the right temperature, isn't it? Are you getting all this? They have a cook ratio that's a little bit different. That's why you do this. Because these potatoes will brown up pretty fast. And these, you want to be able to control it so it's just the right amount of crunch in the jalapeno and onion, but yet not like the potato. We don't want that to crunch. Okay, now they don't specify what's in here, but Spam, lovely Spam, not just Spam, but Spam. I understand, because the rumor is that it was a World War II development. Isn't that what you heard?
That's what I've always heard.
And that they were able to feed the troops a delicious meal that was supposed to be kind of a K-ration kind of a thing, but to those who know, it's a delicious treat. You hear that?
That's making me hungry.
Well, that's all the piggies that went into this squealing. We don't want you to miss a single action-packed move. Are you red-eye?
I'm listening to the sizzle.
Okay, we're gonna start with this. killing you, isn't it? Look at this. Woo, doggy. Well, Winker, the Goat brothers, 6 brothers, and all of them cooks of the outdoors. And there are things that are cooked. We have had some amazing stuff. How about this? Shrimp, onion rings, fish, French fries, cooked outside. Oh, up in the mountains. And I'll tell you another one. Where, if you know where Hitchinbrook Island is, off of Cordova in Alaska. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Infested with Bigfoot monsters and other things, and grizzlies, but we won't talk about that. But we will talk about the chili relleno enchiladas. Oh my land. That's another one I haven't had in so long, I crave it.
Well, you can't have it if we don't have that brother anymore that invented it.
We're missing that brother. Now, we're not kidding. You've learned today you can do this. You go out in the backyard and you fire up something that can do this, or at the mountains when you're up fishing or hunting or bird watching or whatever. Not bird watch, that'd sound a little weird because Bird, he's not here today. I don't think recipe is the right word. How about this? Follow this methodology. That makes more sense than what it really is. What we got in here is some cilantro, jalapenos. We're stirring it up and putting the onions, tomato. You can put as little or as much of this in your burrito as you want. Jack Pepin is my hero. I like to watch Jack Pepin. He's the one that taught me how to cook scrambled eggs. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to melt butter in the pan, but we're going to add some butter later. And he said actually it's best if it's cold. He puts his in the freezer. And you cook them actually on medium high. Careful not to let them stick. If they stick, you ruin them. Okay, that's about right. So let's put the eggs in. Good old chicken eggs. And we're gonna set it over here, out of the way. Not commit the sin of scrambling eggs. You fold them. And you add butter, and then fold it. I feel bad for any heart doctor that doesn't get to taste this delicious meal. Oh my land. Look at that. What do you say we hit a little warmth on it? I'm going to put some of this in mine. Tell me you're not just craving this. Put some of this in here. Jalapeno peppers and tomatoes and onions. Now, I have cheese if you wish cheese. Will you look in there? Will you just look in there? Oh, Mama. That is perfection. If we were around camp right now, I would wind this up in tinfoil and stuff 2 of them in my backpack. Make a few varmint stands, glass a few hillsides for deer or whatever. And the tiniest little fire you would build and drop that in there till you could hear it sizzle a little bit. And then you gobble that up, and then guess what happens? You go to sleep. And when you wake up, you don't know where you are. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Way better than Disneyland.
Well, we're off on another adventure. Look at that.
And whoever thought that plan up was a genius. What do we got there? 100 feet through there? There's a little more? I don't know.
Look at this. You can go through here, but I think it's about, what do you say, 4.5 feet floor to ceiling?
I know that it probably looked way cool when water was going out of it.
Cisco, what is this?
This is an irrigation system for about 600 acres, they said, in here at one time. And it was the Native Americans that had it years ago. And when I was a wee lad, you could still see those fields.
So we're talking probably about 1880?
Yeah, in the 1880s and in there. I don't know what year they built this, but that's when it was still pretty populated here.
What's very interesting to me is that you can still see easily the ditch running right along next to this mountain that was here, that the water came right through this point. There's no water even near it now, but at that time, it was. Well, if you're trying to walk a crooked mile, you've got a stick to get you there.
I was a crooked man, tried to walk a crooked mile. What do you think?
You kind of look like, I don't know, Gandalf the Grey. They'd have had access to water, and it'd have been a nice place. Look at all this pottery just laying everywhere. So this hillside I just covered with pottery and different artifacts. And I just wanted to point out a couple things here. So there's lots of pottery laying right here. You can see this piece right here, another piece here and here. Got a couple more pieces. And then also laying here is this rock that is very clearly a part of a small grindstone. You can see how well it's smoothed out and rounded. This piece of pottery is a little more unique. You can see it's got paint on it. So we're headed back, and right here at the base of this where we've been looking, look at this grindstone we came across. We, of course, are not taking anything. We just leave it where it lays. We're just enjoying looking at it. So the river used to run right here next to this little mountain right here. And that tunnel we were looking at is just right there. So it just makes perfect sense that they would be living right here. Well, thanks for coming along with us today as Cisco demonstrated his cooking prowess.
Ooh, that's too many big words. That makes it sound like it was fancy, you know?
Well, it was delicious. I've never had spam that tasted so wonderful.
Oh, and what a day. The whole day has been fun, and it's just been amazing. It seems like adventures. We've seen things, done things, looked at historical stuff, looked at ancient things. I love it.
Well, keep watching, please. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Join us for more great Goat Bros adventures.
And if you don't like it, lie and say you do, because we have very, very tender egos.
Click like and subscribe anyway.
Righto.